Welcome to Self-Love Breakthrough to a New You. I am Dr. Rhonda, the Self-Love Doctor. Today I want to talk about an abuse that is increasing every day. An abuse that is invisible and difficult to prove. There are no physical signs, yet the effects are lasting and harmful. It's hidden, it's dangerous, and it's hard to explain. It's called Narcissistic Abuse Syndrome. Now, Narcissistic Abuse Syndrome is an abuse that's been increasing each year at an alarming rate. It's time we educate our men and women about this abuse. World Narcissistic Abuse Day is June the 1st. It started June the 1st, 2016. This has become so bad that they decided to make it an awareness day. Now, while working at the prison 4 years ago, I used to take care of women in the prison, their healthcare needs. But what I noticed is when they would come to me, their mind would be way somewhere else. And after talking to so many of these women, I realized that they were there for relationships. 77%, which I thought was way more. We're talking about around the world. 77% of women in prison are survivors of domestic violence. Because a lot of women and men get involved in relationships with narcissists and don't even realize it. So it's so important to me that I wanted to educate. So I left the prison, opened my practice, and started Self-Love Breakthrough. I did one class at Dayton Correctional Center before I left, and I'll be back to do more. So what I want you to do is imagine a woman. This woman was broken, unconscious of it, didn't know she was broken, okay? Didn't have a clue. But she was educated, smart, and she was successful. She was bounded and connected to her partner wounds, but she didn't know that. See, your wounds and your partner wounds are connected. That's when you have brokenness attracting brokenness. Codependents and narcissists are drawn to each other like a magnet. She lived in an illusion of what she thought was love. You see, sometimes the illusion is so strong you don't want to awaken to the truth. You rather stay in the dysfunction because that is your comfort zone. She realizes through her pain, she birthed her purpose, and that her pain was connected to educating men and women around the world about this toxic epidemic that was spreading. She decided to give up her fear, her mask, and become courageous and fearless. She decided to own her power. That woman was me. You know, I had to be very vulnerable when I started to do this because, see, so many of us suffer in silence. We don't want anybody to know what we're going through because it's embarrassing. And people always say, how can somebody so smart, how could somebody that's beautiful, how could somebody that's rich end up with somebody like that? Well, see, this abuse has no social economic barrier or race. It's a core issue. It's a template issue. It has nothing to do with how smart you are, how rich you are, or how successful you are. The agenda, recognizing the love trap. I wrote a book called Recognizing the Love Trap so that I can educate billions and millions of people about this epidemic. It teaches you the red flags. It teaches you why you're attracted to each other. It helps you get out the relationship or not get in. We're going to talk about what is codependency. We're going to talk about narcissism and the 5 steps to overcome codependency. Codependency is someone that gives a great deal of love, respect, and care to others. It's a learned behavior. It's developed in childhood. It's our template. It's what we watch our parents do. So it's our norm. And this is what we grow up to do. A codependent has anxiety sometimes because they don't like being alone, the fear of being alone. That's why they go from partner to partner. If they break up with one, you'll see them with another one. That fear of separation is very hard. They have a denial. I did. You couldn't tell me I was codependent. I didn't even know what codependency meant. Codependent. I take care of myself. I buy my own things. I buy my own cars. But that's not what it meant. Once I realized, whoo-wee, in the relationship, the codependent assumes the position as a caregiver and not a partner. Always needing things to be perfect. Now, there's two types of codependent. There's an active and there's a passive. The active codependent is sometimes called a narcissist because they're controlling. You know, an active codependent will go out and seek that love. They'll follow you. They'll put a little thing on your car where they can know where you are. It'll beep, beep, beep. They'll come and bust your windows out. They dare you that you treat them that way. I have a couple people that are in prison because they went looking for that man and accidentally end up stabbing him, killing him, out of the passion and the pain and the hurt. That active codependent will take care of you, buy you clothes, as long as you just stay there. Just don't leave them. But they will come looking for you. A passive codependent, they won't come looking for you. They'll sit at home and just hope that you come back. You could be missing in action for a couple of days, but as long as you come back, it's okay. You can have babies on them. They don't like it, but they'll accept it. That's passive. As I said before, most of these cases are learned in childhood, and it's your template that you were given as a child. We're going to talk about narcissism. Now, when I talk about narcissism, I'm talking about a pathological narcissist, one that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Their intent is to hurt because they've been hurt. And in a lot of my classes with my clients, I teach them that both codependency and narcissism are children that are hurt when they were kids. That's why their wounds attract each other. One is a giver and one is a taker. So the overt narcissist, arrogant, boastful, demanding, grandiose, ruthless, powerful. They have charisma. They're the life of the party, nice bodies, very attractive. That's why all of a sudden you woof, right into that person. Okay? Covert, shy, no less dangerous, anxious. This is commonly found in pastors, clergymen, doctors, lawyers. People trust them. This hurts so bad because you're putting your trust in these people. A pastor will tell you the word, they'll tell you this, but see, that narcissist knows the same thing. So when they hurt you, you're just like, I'm done with all churches. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. A lot of times you can tell anybody outside of your household about these individuals and they won't believe you because they get people to trust them. They get people to like them. They know what they're doing. What they all have in common is lying, cheating, manipulating, and gaslighting. No one would fall in love with a narcissist if they knew what was ahead of them. This is why they wear the mask. They wear these masks long enough to get you into the stage where they know they got you. And they know when they got you because it's a game. They know. Believe me, they know. When a codependent person and a narcissist get together, they are like two individuals with a powerful attraction. It's like a magnet, but it later becomes dysfunctional. This relationship causes you to lose yourself. It's a love addiction. Now, the codependent and the narcissist are attracted to the thing inside of them. That thing is that core. The codependent is usually tender. They're very honest. They have issues or they want to be attracted to the narcissist. They're nice and they're giving. The narcissist is a tormentor. They have hatred because of childhood issues. Issues, as I said, a lot of them. N is for nasty, and they can be grandiose. The grandiose comes from wanting to be that person that they're not. They don't have, their self-esteem is very low. So that's why they act all grandiose, because that's really what they want to be. Now, there's 3 stages. And the women in prison used to always say, how do you know those 3 stages? Because I would say, tell me, in the first stage, was it like the honeymoon stage? Did you feel like this was your soulmate? The chemistry was so heavy because that thing inside of you was attracted to that thing inside of him. And it happened so fast. The sex was intense. They put you on this pedestal. They fill you with hopes and dreams. And you feel like, this is my soulmate. You are now addicted. The dopamine and the oxytocin are being released in this stage, which causes traumatic bonding. And they'll say, how did you know that? Because it happens in every first stage. The second stage. This stage lasts long enough to make sure they have you secured. Then the mask comes off. They start to reveal their true colors. They end up missing in action. It could be days or weeks, even months. And you're saying, what did I do? What did I do wrong? You're left baffled and confused because you don't understand what happened. Now you're experiencing withdrawal. They start to blame you. They start to criticize you. And all you're trying to do is make it right. Maybe I need to lose weight. Maybe I need to cut my hair. Maybe I need to color it. You're doing anything you can to make this narcissist go back to the first stage. Now, they go back between 1 and 2. They go back between 1, 2, and 3. But it's a roller coaster. It's like being on a hamster in a wheel going around and around and around. And you hit first stage and you go around and around. You hit second stage and sometimes you just stay stagnated. Stage 3 is the discard stage. Now, all of them don't discard you. They'll try to bug you. They'll try to get you back. Now, the thing about it is it depends on how much narcissistic supply you have. If you're nice looking, if you got a good career, if you got money, they'll carry you on their arm because you make them look like the prize. But they'll never be happy with you because of that core. They'll always have a chick on the side. They are like little boys with toys. It's baffling to watch this. You start to ask yourself, did I ever mean anything to him? The answer is no. No one means anything to them. They are empty souls. They have holes in their souls. Women are only a means to an end to obtain that much needed narcissistic supply. Now, I want you to know also, men go through the same thing. I have men clients, so I'm not just saying this happens to women because it happens to both, but I see more women than men. Codependency, anorexia. If you don't be along in the third stage, if you don't stop dating, if you don't go within and heal, you will have codependency, anorexia. Why? Because with codependency, anorexia, you usually say, I'm done. I'm not dating. I'm done. I'm tired of being cheated on. I'm tired of being hurted. So you don't date. You may not date for years. But if you don't truly heal that wounded child and become whole, then you attract another narcissist down the road. That thing will awaken. It will open up. Now, Tyler Perry's movie, Falling for Grace, perfect example. Watch that. Perfect example. She was doing fine, but she wasn't healed. If she was, she would have smelled that narcissist. What I do is I teach you to smell them. Because once you heal, you will learn to smell them. So codependency withdrawal. This is when you're alone. You think, oh, I love him. Why did he do this to me? Oh, my God, what am I going to do? No, you didn't love yourself. Because if you loved yourself, you would not accept that behavior and you would not be attracted to that person. It's so important that you be by yourself and you heal. Because if not, this will go on over and over and over. I treat opiate addiction along with codependency. My clients tell me that codependency withdrawal is worse than any opiate addiction. See, I can write Suboxone to help them with that withdrawal, but I can't give them another Bob, Harry, or Sam. So not having that man, because that man is their addiction, is horrible. They'll just go back to that person over and over than to deal with the pain. So you have to go through the pain. You have to go through to get to. You have to remember, with pain is purpose. So this stage here is very hard. Some people never get to the stage. Some people just stay there and live a miserable life. And when you do, you die in physically, or you're going to die internally, because this is where you get the toxins. You can't be happy with somebody treating you like this. You start to get cancer. You start to get gastritis. You start to get all kinds of things that go on in your body. Now, there's 5 steps to break through. Now, I have more steps, but I put these steps in here just to make this a shorter version. Step 1, saying goodbye. Oh my God, letting go is the hardest thing to do. That's when you're going through that withdrawal thing, okay? You're letting go of an illusion that felt so true. The longer you stay in a toxic relationship, the longer you stay in this relationship, the harder it will be. You have to let go. No contact. This is the only way to detach from the dark reality of the narcissist. No Facebook, no emailing, no texting. No texting. There's 7 things I want to tell you about this that's very important. Number 1, no contact. Number 2, no contact. Number 3, no contact. Number 4, no contact. Number 5, no contact. Number 6, no contact. Number 7, no contact. None. That's the only way to get through. Number 3, this is the grieving stage. You have to remember, somebody has died. That false illusion was real to you. Okay? This is the stage that's very hard due to the trauma bond that formed. This is a bond that formed so tight that you thought, oh my God, I love this person. You grieve the false illusion. Often the grief and despair of detaching from a toxic relationship are so overwhelming that we cling to this harmful situation to avoid having to cut the person loose. This is also very hard, but believe me, it's a process and it can be done. Allow yourself to feel the pain. So many people don't want to feel pain. That's why we numb ourselves. That's why we have the opiate addiction, because it got so painful they wanted something to numb themselves with. Or the alcoholics, they want to drink themselves to death. But you have to feel the pain in order to heal. You have to. You have to go through. You have to feel the sorrow of their absence to move through it. I wish there was a better way. But remember, with pain comes purpose. Take back your power. How? Educate yourself. Educate yourself on this World Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day, because it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Every time you turn around, they're talking about narcissists. You have to cut the psychic cord, because there is a cord that's a psychic cord that you can't see. You got to cut it. It's invisible. You can't see it, but you can feel it. This doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. Meditating and inner bonding was a very big one for me. It helped me with healing. Healing is about moving out the false belief systems and living into the true one. You have to. There's no other way around it. Counseling is important also. What I want people to understand is, with counseling, you have to go to someone that understands narcissistic abuse. Because a lot of people, when you go in, they're either a narcissist or they're codependent. So you really have to know. Ask questions. Ask them what they know about this. Okay? And the very, very important thing is, you have to meditate on the Word of God, because God will renew your mind and your spirit. I promise you He will. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's so important. so important that you give God your mind, you give him your trouble, and believe me, you have to be ready because this is not a joke. You have to be courageous to go through this in order to let go. From pain to purpose, my self-love program is a holistic program. It addresses the body, the mind, and the spirit. And it helps break the cycles of abandonment, addiction, and unresolved trauma that is often handed down from generation to generation. These are 3 of the books that I've written. The Love Trap is the last one for now, but it teaches you how to go within and heal. I also have a website, selflovedoctor.com, that you can go on and get information. There's a 30-day self-love tracker that you can put your name, put your email up there, and we'll send it to you. But most of all, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be doing more education on narcissistic abuse because it's so important, and I want people to understand that they can get through this. You just have to be real to heal. Thank you.